I hope you're all well. This is a talk on the 21-day program to remove the mask of the inner critic. I hope you enjoy this talk.
So let us start with a wonderful quote. A quote on hostile energy. When we direct a lot of hostile energy toward the inner critic, we enter into a losing battle. And the reason why I wanted to start with this one is all about developing love and kindness towards everyone, including our inner critic, which hopefully is one of the reasons why you're here today. So I'm going to ask you, if you can, just to put in the, if you would like to, in the comments, what drew you to come here today? Why did you register on this? Whilst I just talk about what we're going to be talking about today. Just letting a few more people in. We'll be doing a few introductions as to in the comment box. So hi Deborah, we've just started and we're just sharing with our introductions as to why, actually just adding on our chat what brought us here today, so I can try and cover everybody's needs. And if, okay, thank you Sherry. Thank you Marla and Fiona as well. Okay, yes, so I'm going to start with that. Let me just allow everybody to come in. Sorry, they're just coming in. So for those of you who have just joined, we're just talking about what our inner critic, or why did we join? And today we are going to be talking about the inner critic scenarios, the voices, engaging in a lovely practice of love and kindness, as well as understanding the brain, how the brain works in terms of the inner critic and what is happening, and also how mindfulness and the 21-day program that I'm launching will help. So if anybody who has just joined just wants to add on in the chat what has brought you here today. I'm going to unmute all of you so that we can do this practice, but please feel free. I've got my eye on the chat, so please free to type anything. If this is more where we can share whatever we need to, but we'll just do it through the chat so we can go through all of this information for you. Okay, so the inner critic scenarios, I've just summarized it in these 4 different sections, and hopefully I'm covering what you've all come up with. So we usually are quite critical for ourselves. You know, we tend, I think all of you have said that we tend to be quite critical about what we are doing. So some of the times we may be just saying that we're not good enough, we'll never accomplish anything in our lives. What is the point in even trying when such a long journey? What are we going to actually achieve at the end of it? So we don't get anything right, we're such a loser. So we're quite critical about ourselves, our own individual identities. We can also be quite critical over our careers. So, you know, where are we going in our lives in terms of what have we accomplished in our careers? Where is it taking us? You know, we're not good at what we do. We'll never get a promotion. We'll never finish writing our book. We'll never be able to be able to progress, and even if we don't have a job, whether we'll get a job or not. So we're constantly analyzing and criticizing our work, our careers. I've put parenting here. A lot of us here are parents. So as parents, we seem to carry the guilt of the world. We're never going to be good enough parents, or good enough children, I should put there as well. When we take the parenting role from when we do a role reversal, when we stop becoming children, we become parents of our parents. So we have this guilt, and whether what are people going to say about us, what are our children going to think about us. So we're constantly criticizing our parenting skills. And then relationships generally is the way we interact with each other, how things are going, whether we can actually maintain good relationships, whether we can actually have that interactive relationship, or whether we're not going anywhere. So these are the different areas where we encounter the inner critic. And the next slide is about the voices of the inner critic, which is pretty much, we've covered some of these, but some we haven't. So usually the inner critic voice is about perfection. So we're always striving for perfection. We're very tough, harsh taskmasters. We tend to analyze everything that we do, and even if we've achieved a big goal, we still feel that we could have done better. It's never good enough. And that leads to the next voice, which is guilt. We feel extremely guilty. Guilt is actually, I read that guilt is being in that constant, repetitive inner chatter of I'm feeling bad, I've not done enough, and it keeps going back. It's that rumination of constantly going round and round in circles, which actually leads to the self-limited beliefs that there's no hope. We'll never be able to be good enough. We're never going to be able to get to where we want in life. And the demolisher is being completely hopeless. We'll never be able to do anything because there's nothing that we have in our lives. And we've got the conformers, which are always accepting everything that happens in our life. We just accept everything. We don't question it, we just accept it all. We can also hear the fact that we need to work hard. We're constantly working, we're constantly doing things. So it's never enough. We're constantly working, trying to achieve our targets. And that keeps us in that loop of working all the time, which nicely leads to indulgence. Now, we often, when we think of indulgence, we think it's a physical aspect of our life. So we indulge with food, with drugs, with alcohol, with it, we get addicted. But I think, as all of you have said, it's indulgence in negative thoughts, negative behavior as well. So that's there as well. That's also an indulgence. I would actually say it's can be indulgence in self-pity as well, feeling sorry for yourself. So you can indulge in the fact that you're not perfect, you're guilty, you've got these limited beliefs, you're hopeless, you're trying to accept, and you're working too hard. So in a sense, you're indulging, you're excessively going over and over the negative thoughts in your life. Okay, so I hope everything is so far clear. And now we're going to engage. This is a little bit of the theory that we went through, and we'll carry on with the theory. But the best way to understand and identify yourself with the inner critic is to be able to experience, or to be able to see it from a detached point of view. So it's more to witness your emotions. And that's why I put this quote: it's difficult to see your thoughts when you are in your thoughts. So I am going to do this lovely visualization now, where I'm going to invite you just to sit back and take some deep breaths. You may want to have a support for your back, but keeping your back nice and straight at the same time, feeling comfortable. You may want to close your eyes, or you can leave just your gaze low. And take 3 deep breaths, being conscious of the air coming in and out of your body. Just follow the natural rhythm of your breath, of your breathing cycle. You're inhaling and exhaling. As you're inhaling, you're taking deep breaths right to your lungs, your abdomen, and as you're exhaling, you're letting go. Carry on breathing. And whilst you're engaging in this deep breathing, bring your awareness to your whole body. Can you actually imagine your physical form to be a field of sensations? Can you feel the movement, the quality of these sensations? The tingling, vibration, the heat, the coolness, any hardness, softness. Is everything flowing, or is there any tension? Take a few moments to bring your full attention to this dance of sensations. And now allow your awareness to open around the space enveloping you. And tune in to what you're listening, not only with your ears, but with your entire being, with your whole awareness. Tune in to what you're able to hear. And now bring your awareness, keeping your eyes closed. Just bring your awareness to any images, lights that are shining over your eyelids. You may notice a flickering of light, darkness, certain shadows, just some figments of light. Take a few moments to tune into the sensation of seeing, of your vision. Then bring your awareness to smell, anything that you can smell. Can you breathe anything? Can you smell anything that you're breathing? Just tune in to your faculty of smelling. And now, with all your senses, be wide open to your entire ability to feel, to tune in to all your senses. Moment to moment, you're allowing yourself to bring your attention to the different senses. This beautiful dance of what you're smelling, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, all your senses fully engaged. And whilst you are in this relaxed state, tune in to direct some love and kindness phrases to yourself. In this state of relaxation, in this state of complete awareness of your sensations, repeat to yourself some phrases just to make yourself feel better, your inner critic, to feel loved, to feel that kindness, both to your inner critic and to yourself. I'm going to just mention a few phrases, but please feel free to use the ones that resonate most with you. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be held in loving kindness. May I feel safe and at ease. May I feel protected from inner and outer harm. May I be happy. May I accept myself just as I am. May I touch deep, natural peace. May I know the natural joy of being alive. May I find refuge within my own being. May my heart and mind awaken. May I be free. And just take a few moments, being aware of your sensations, being present in your body, and hearing these phrases of love and kindness to yourself and to your inner critic. And gradually, when you can, just bring your awareness back to the chair that you're sitting on. You may want to just wiggle your toes. Just give yourself a little shake. Come back to where you are. You may want to open your eyes and come back. to this presentation, yes. So feel free to put any comments or share any experiences. So following on from what we were saying, now we've experienced some techniques to tackle our inner critic, also to share some love and kindness for ourselves. Let us understand exactly what happens when we engage in mindfulness techniques such as these. What happens to our inner critic? Okay, so the best way to understand this is if I'm able to explain to you a little bit about the brain. And this is very simplistic, so don't worry, I'm not going to give you a lesson on brain anatomy or anything. I do have some slides, but this is more, I just thought I'll share with you this wonderful example of the brain, which a wonderful psychologist shared, Dan Siegel. So he explained the brain. I'm going to show you. I'm just going to stop this for a second. So simplistically speaking, he showed that the brain, well, he showed that the spinal cord is reflected all on the forearm, right to the wrist. And down here is the brain stem, which is also known as the reptilian brain. And over here in the middle, we've got the limbic system, which is in charge of the emotions. We can say that the amygdala is the thumb. And then the top of the fingers, all the way down, is the prefrontal cortex, which has got to do with the thinking. And right in the middle is the medial prefrontal cortex. And what mindfulness does is it helps to balance, it helps the medial prefrontal cortex to bridge that wonderful union, to allow that communication from the brain stem. Also, we've got the middle, the limbic system, and the thinking part. So just over there in the middle is what brain scans have shown is activated when we engage in techniques such as these, where we are allowing ourselves to activate the soothing system, which is to be kind to ourselves. I've got a very nice slide that I wanted to show you here. So I'll show you this one first. So we can see here, this is another way of explaining how our brain is divided into the threat system, which is what keeps us alive, the safety. Then we've got the drive system, which is that perfectionist that we're always trying to achieve. And then the third one, which is what mindfulness helps with, especially compassionate mind training, it's to allow you to slow down, to digest, to be kind to yourself. And another way to be able to explain this is that you can see over here, the bottom, as we said before, is the reptilian brain, the middle is the mammalian brain, limbic system, and the top is the cortex, the prefrontal cortex. So you can see the different stages and how in the middle, right in the middle is what allows that communication between all the parts of the brain. And it not only is it good for your inner critic, it's good for your memory, it's good to be present, it's good to be able to create that awareness. And another keyword that we keep hearing all the time is neuroplasticity. It's quite a complicated infographic here, but I thought I'll just go through this. So neuroplasticity is the brain's ability to reorganize itself both in structure and function. So in a sense, recent research is proving that we can reprogram the brain. And one of the ways that we can reprogram the brain is through meditation, through emotional regulation. Of course, we can also do it through exercise, diet, learning, lots of different things. But this technique also helps to reprogram your brain to be able to find new pathways to be more emotionally resilient. Okay, so who to trust? Trust your inner creator and let go of your inner Critic. So this is what I'm creating, I've created. The 21 days to remove the mask of your inner critic, which is starting on the 6th of July. Yeah. But you can purchase it now. I've put a few of the visualizations that I have done today. And in week 1, it's basically 21 days of different practices that will be uploaded every day. So you'll be able to access them every day, but you'll indefinitely. So the first week we will cultivate that soothing system. Then the second week we will start working with, it's every day a visualization. So the first 7 days, the first week, it's more focusing on the soothing system. The second week is how to identify those thoughts and emotions, because yes, we did it. This is a very generalized conversation about the different scenarios and the different voices, but it's good to be specific. So this will give you a few techniques to be able to narrow down to what you're feeling. And then week 3 will be a consolidation to further develop compassionate mind training. It's going to be a combination of listening and practicing and writing and journaling. Yes, and I'm including the 21 days of emotional freedom technique within the program as well.
The 21-day program to remove the mask of the inner critic can be bought from my website, which is positiveharmonypsychology.com, as you can see on the top. Then you go to the shop tab. You can see the product. Just click on add, and you add this to the basket. You can see the description. Now this is a 21-day program, so you can buy it from now, but you will have access through the 21 days on the 6th of July. However, when you purchase this, you will be able to access 2 techniques included in the Pausing to be Present and Kind product. On the 6th of July, you'll be able to access the 21 days. So you just click on add to the basket, and then you go on to view the basket. Fortunately, I've done this twice, so I'll just update it, unless you want to buy 2. But 1 should be enough for you. And then you proceed to checkout. And when you proceed to checkout, you'll be prompted to write your billing details, and make sure you remember your account name and your password, and then you proceed to pay by PayPal or your credit card. So once you've done this, I'm just going to show you what you'll have access to. So once you've done this, you just have to go into your account, and then the password, the username and the password that you've used, you can just log in. And once you're there, you will go into dashboard. When you go into my account, you'll go into the dashboard, and you will be able to access I'll just show you the Pausing to be Present and Kind program, which is basically these 2 visualizations that I have added so that you can access these immediately. You can play them here. This is a prompt, and then you've also got Pausing to be Kind as well, which is a lovely audio. So I hope this has helped you know more about the program, and also know how to purchase it immediately. But the 21 days will be available from the 6th of July.